G'day everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I'm going to bring you with another 10 sneaky GeoGuessr tips that will elevate your gameplay. And yeah, I hope you guys seem to enjoy them. So anyway, let's get straight into this first one, which is a Greenland tip for a nuke. And the car meta for nuke, the capital, is this grey car. It's got mirrors visible, bit sides of the car, front of the car visible sometimes too. But if you have this sort of, I think it's like an SUV car with mirrors visible, grey car, you're going to be in Nuuk, the capital city of Greenland, which is, so you got a fair amount of coverage in this. See, it's okay just over here in Greenland. All the coverage around here has literally that grey car. So, oops. But yeah, good one to keep in mind, I'd say. Let's just find a spot that could, let's come here for example, and yeah, see, grey car. And yeah, let's move on to the next one, which is about the Galapagos Islands, which is islands that belong to Ecuador in the Pacific Ocean, and they have this boat coverage on a bit of boat coverage on the island, and you can just see the Colombian flag, but it's actually, if you see this like sort of like Colombian flag, you're actually going to be on the Galapagos Islands with this boat. You see? Yeah, you're going to be on the Galapagos Islands, which are located right here. They belong to Ecuador. They're in Ecuadorian territory. They belong just west of Ecuador. Just here, they have a bit of boat coverage around the place. Along here, there's a bit of boat coverage. All has this flag on it. But if you do see it, yeah, you know where to guess. Alright, next we have here, we are up in the, I think it's the Shetland Islands. Yeah, I think this might be the Shetland Islands, or Oakley. It's going to be one of the two. And these islands, they do look quite a lot like Iceland or the Faroe Islands because they're just where they're situated. But if you see a location that looks like Iceland or the Faroe Islands, but you don't have that car, and you have Gen 2, and you have these like UK bollards, or you're driving on the left because it's on the left side. But if you're driving on the left, you have like Gen 2, it kind of looks like Iceland or Faroe Islands. You might be up here, which is a pretty sneaky tip actually. It's I think this is Shetland. Yeah, that's Orkney. Shetland is up here. So yeah, they're located here, and yeah, let's move to the next one. Next one I have here is about San Marino, and San Marino can be sometimes a bit difficult to tell apart from Italy. The best way you can do it is by these crosswalks. These crosswalks have white stripes, but you have a blue painting on the road, but with white stripes on it. That's very common in San Marino, not as common as in Italy. You can see it in Italy, but it's very common in San Marino, much more common in San Marino too. And yeah, it's all Gen 2 in San Marino, so Gen 2 could be either one. Very mountainous in San Marino too. The street signs look kind of similar, so, and you can see some Italian plates. San Marino is surrounded by Italy, so you might see some, but this is probably the best way you can tell the two apart, is by these pedestrian crosswalks. I'm not sure about the pedestrian crossing sign. I'll leave a link down below to Harry's pedestrian crossing sign video. I haven't learned them all myself, but it's a good video. I'll link it in the description below, and yeah, let's move on to the next one. So that was some America's tips, Europe tips, and now we move to Asia. This is Kyrgyzstan. We're in Kyrgyzstan. You can see we have the car, we have these bars, the mirrors, the car visible too. But if you spawn in Kyrgyzstan, you have snow around you, like you're in these snowy sort of mountains. Like there's just snow everywhere. I learned Kyrgyzstan pretty well, but if you know that if you have like snow around mountains everywhere, then you have to be in this sort of region around where I'm drawing my mouse, in this sort of region between like the end of this road and up here. There's all this snowy mountain coverage. If I click here, there's snowy mountains everywhere. You got the car, but you got these snowy mountains everywhere. If you see this combination, you got to be in this region of Kyrgyzstan. It's the only part of Kyrgyzstan which has it. And yeah, it gets a bit dry as you go further west, but yeah, when you're more over up towards the towns in the west, you're going to get this snowy mountain coverage. So if you get that coverage, you know exactly where to guess. Alright, next tip I have here is more car meta. I'm sorry about car meta, but it's a good one actually. So we know we're in South Korea, right? We have this pole with this diagonal stripes that don't go all the way to the bottom. If they do, it would be Taiwan. But if you have this little camera or light or something, I think it's like a light or something. There's this little thing at the back, like a light on this black car. You have this little thing at the back, then you're going to be in Pohang, which is this eastern region of South Korea, situated just over here. It's the only region of South Korea that has this there's a little black thing on the back. So we just click around somewhere around in like Pohang. As you can see, you have this little black little light thing at the back with like Korean looking landscape. But if you see this, you're now going to be in Pohang. So nice little tip, and yeah, it certainly pays off a lot in duels, distance battle, anything you like really. That was a couple of Asian tips. We now move to Africa, and here we are in Benin City, Nigeria. And in Benin City, Nigeria, it's another car medal one. It's this black follow car. I think it's Benin City, I'm pretty sure, is the only city in Nigeria or any part of Nigeria that has this black follow car. So if you have this black follow car, then you will be for sure in Benin City, Nigeria. So if you don't know where that is, I'll just show you quickly where that is. Benin City, just over here, east of Lagos, basically. So yeah, it's a good thing to know too if you struggle with your Nigerian guessing, because that's a good tip. Very sneaky tip too, and a lot of people know it, so pretty good. The next tip I have here is about South African urban South Africa. Urban South Africa. Urban South Africa can be quite difficult to tell apart from maybe like Australia, sometimes maybe New Zealand. Most commonly Australia though. And the way you can tell it apart is by these fences. If you have like all this like high security fence stuff, like you see there's like fences everywhere, you don't usually get this high security in Australia, but if you do see it, you're probably going to be more in South Africa than Australia, because they both drive left. But if you have this like fencing everywhere, then yeah, you're probably going to be in South Africa. This is just in Pretoria, but you could probably be down in any of the cities really. But yeah, it's just a good, I think it's just a more generic one. How do you tell Australia and South Africa apart? So yeah, not as sneaky as some, but still quite useful. I'd say it is. So anyway, let's move on to the next one, which is here we are in Northern Territory, Australia. And in Northern Territory, Australia, you usually have, well, not just in Northern Territory, but in this sort of area, you have this red dirt, but you also have these very green sort of distinct trees, like these sort of very green trees, very distinct. These sort of, if you see these sort of trees, you have to be in Northern Territory, or you could be in pretty northeastern WA. You could be up here in Northern Territory, but it could be somewhere around like Kununurra if it's sort of crossing Halls Creek, somewhere over there. Or it could be just up near Darwin, Katherine. So you're going to be like in this region of Australia if like you see those these like green trees everywhere with the red dirt too. So if you see that combination, go somewhere up there and you'll probably get a nice score. Alright, the last tip I have here is about New South Wales guardrails. And in New South Wales guardrails, the end of them, they're the only state in Australia to have these black and yellow chevrons on the end of the guardrails. So if you see black and yellow chevrons on the end of guardrails in Australia, you will for sure, you have to be in New South Wales, because they're the only state to put these chevrons on the end of guardrails. So if you see guardrails like on the end, go New South Wales and then get a nice score, or in duels or something like that too. So anyway guys, thanks for watching. Please leave a like down below if you do enjoy these tips videos. I plan on making more, maybe playing some GeoGuessr, some more gameplay with some tips too. Yeah, comment if you want to see something, and yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye.